everyone, how's it going? I'm Justin and this video will be FinViz scanning. So I do this every week, end of the week, on Fridays. And it sets me up for the upcoming week, but essentially I have 5 or 6 screeners on FinViz where I got them from Julian Comer. He's an amazing swing trader, gives a lot of psychological tips and technical analysis tips. So follow him if you don't already on YouTube and Twitter. But my thesis is by doing the preparation on a Friday, you get your watch list built, set up, the names that you're interested in, then Saturday and Sunday you thin it out. But you have to organize and be prepared for the week. If you don't do your preparation on the weekend or after market hours, execution in the moment is going to be more challenging. So let's hop right into it. We have a bunch, 5 or 6 different areas to look through. And okay, perfect. So number 1 is IPO 1 year. And there's only 4 on this one, which is quite amusing, but nothing that I'm interested in. So what I'm really looking for is tight bases that are longer than 8 weeks, 8 weeks at the very minimum, and triangles, flags, things where trend lines can line up for breakout moves. You know, lots of moves, if you don't at least have your eyes on them, most of them can break down. But if you have your eyes on the select few that do break out, you get big winners, and that's how you generate profits. So being incorrect as a trader is something that it happens very often. And our job is to be okay being wrong, being incorrect. It's a challenge, it really is. So now we're on the new highs, and the new highs, we have 118 charts to look through. So I scanned through quite quickly, and on this page, nothing interesting. Over time, you definitely will get better at scanning through these. Like, I've only been using FinViz specifically for a few months, but I've noticed my track record has improved. I've had way more opportunities. And LNC, that was on my list last week, but I don't like how it's shaping up. ENB, you see, this is something I'm looking for, but it already had the move. I might be in that. I'm not sure. BCS looks quite good, but it's already breaking out. PRU, and now when I get a name that I'm actually quite interested in, I'm typing it in on my thinkorswim just to get the finer details. And it's a financial stock, so I already have plenty of ripe prime setups for the financial sector on my watch list, so that one doesn't deserve to be on it. And that quick, we're done with, 2. So now, after IPO 1 year and the new highs, we go to high volume today. That's 28 on our list. MRC, look at that downtrend. When you get a downtrend, I like to pay more attention to the winners, the market leaders. But a downtrend like this, it deserves to go on my list. So right now I'm tossing that onto my weekly watch list. So far we got 1 chart, I believe. But what I do is I don't create a brand new watch list each week. What I do is I adjust it. So I have my watch list, I take away what doesn't look so good anymore, and then I'll add what comes from this FinViz screener onto my new watch list. And Saturday and Sunday, review it, spend more time, look through the charts, look through the shorter, the daily, and get the top, the best of the best on the list. But that's all it is. It's like when you're thinning things or filtering, that's all it is, just filtering. So we got MRC, and that's all I like on that. Okay, so we're making good progress. Now we got 603 to look through. So strong stock screener has a bunch. And it's okay to miss some. A lot of the setups will look quite similar, but we want to focus on just the most attractive, the market leaders, and the tightest, the smoothest, the cleanest bases. BAM, look at that. That looks clean. So we're going to check that out on the other platform. Yep, and BAM, it's an asset management company. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We got like 9 weeks tight. That one deserves to be on the list. So we got BAM. BRX, that looks great as well. It's a weird fundamental. It has like the USD thing, 0.01. I have no idea what that means, but something in my gut tells me to stay away from names that have that in their title. CAE, I love this one. I love this one. So we have a downtrend in the short term, 10 to 20 weeks of consolidation. We have a previous high at 31.5. That looks good. CAE will be on the list. So next, we keep scanning. I already have Cato. I like that one. It's already on the list for your information. Sim. Sometimes we get a bunch in a short period of time. See, this is one of the USD 0.0. I just don't like that. A lot looking decent, but I don't want to clutter the watch list immediately. CPT, let me check that out. CPT, another one of those 0.01s. Can't stand that, but that's just what happens. CYBR. Oh, I like that. Looks very good. So it has a prior high. It's like a cup and handle, literally. That's what it is. And these charts, like when you have bases, ascending triangles, flags, all of it does much better if you're buying a breakout on a longer time frame, a monthly or a weekly. You don't want to be buying 1 minute patterns because you don't understand the context, the big picture. That's what really makes these moves occur. This looks good. DISH. Yeah, really nice chart. And it just has so much room to go. Keep that on the list for sure. Nothing new. It's a challenge to speak and scan through these charts at the same time, but I think people, if anyone is a aspiring trader and aspiring, I don't even like the word trader, I prefer the word risk manager. You got FFIC, I already have that on the list, but you got to understand that a lot of people, they don't want to show the grind, the intricacy of putting in work. It's fun to me, but to the average Joe, they don't want to put this time in on a Friday. Most people really don't, but you get out what you put in. So I urge you, just remember that statement right there. It is a complete fact. You get out what you put in. IMAB, wow, I love this one. This is a clean base at an all-time high area, no resistance above, besides, that 85.4. That looks good. IMAB right there. And I was debating what screen to show, whether my thinkorswim or my actual screener, but I think it's more beneficial for you guys to see the screener. So I just checked out IPI, but I don't like what it looks like on the thinkorswim. I have a bunch of other setups that are very similar to that. So that always weighs in. If I have too many of the same looking setups or a lot of stocks from the same sector, I'll just thin them out, filter them out, because you don't need too much from the same area. It's good to consistently compare and see what is the strongest out of the bunch. MNRL, that's on my list already. When you do this religiously every week, you will get a lot of repeat names. Ooh, this MTSI, I love that. It looks great. I'm drawing a trend line right now, if you're wondering, and putting that on the watch list. Sweet. Let me check the time. So right now, 10 minutes in. All right, gotta keep hustling. NXST, that looks good, but it's too long of a base, truly. OZK, I like that. Let's see what it is. Ooh, it's a bank, and there's been a lot of bank names already breaking out. That seems like a laggard to me, so I'm gonna stay away from it. You know, when I refer to that, I mean, so JPM just broke out 2 weeks ago, and now I see a lot of weaker, lesser known financials setting up. You don't want to be chasing the laggards. If you miss the big name, the sector, the market leader, there's no point in buying the laggards. Sometimes it will work. I'm in road already. I do have a position, or a order actually. I'm not in this, but above that 35 zone, road is definitely worth entering. Yeah, we're almost done with this one, and there's a lot of nice setups, really. I just don't want to get too cluttered, so I take my time, and I'm quite selective. If you're wondering, all of these charts are weekly charts. I think I mentioned that, but Upwork, I love this. It's just, let me check it out on the Thinkorswim. Yeah, it just needs some more time, so it's going to be off the list for a few more weeks, but that's something that I do have in the back of my head. Upwork is setting up. It's just, I want to pay more attention to the market leaders right now, you know? So we got 3 strong stocks, performance year. If you want to know any of these actual details for the screeners, check out Julian Comer. Performance year. Excuse me. CNTY, that looks pretty good, but I have others that they just look a little bit cleaner. DEN, I have half a position on, and I'm looking to buy some more DEN, so keep that on your list. DEN looks great. Making good progress, nothing looks good. Something that I think is truly important is to make short-term, intermediate, and long-term goals. So many people get caught up in the stress, the survival of life. Skin is amazing. Keep your eyes on Skin. That thing looks great. It is fundamentally a beauty health company. But what I was saying is it's so important to have goals and be constantly striving to improve. If you're not improving and growing, you're dying. To be frank, to be simple. So we got our last screener right here, 520 left. Let's fly through this. It is detrimental to be on a path of your best self. And it's not easy. But the way I look at it is we live life, and there's essentially 2 options. You could be miserable, and that is still challenging. You could not take care of yourself. You could be rude to people. You could be evil, essentially. Or you can be good. And being good is still hard. It's not easy. There's many temptations. But by being good instead of evil, you're taking care of yourself. You're taking care of others. You're striving to improve. None of this is easy. But if you could be good or evil and they're both hard, me personally, I think my purpose and my inner fulfillment will come from helping others grow into good people. Just, you're gentle, you're patient, you're educated, you're stable in a way where you generate money and you enjoy the method of money generation. For me, that's the stock market. I find this stuff enjoyable, and I don't have to have someone screaming at me or just up my ass, micromanaging me. It's important to be the best you can be, educate yourself, and don't settle for average. Don't settle for some bullshit. Just push yourself, strive to get what you deserve. I promise you. The mindset is so powerful. FRT looks amazing. But if you can develop a mentality, a consistent, goal-oriented lifestyle where you're just improving and digging and grinding, you're going to love what you create. And, sorry, everything can be... I just made my mic essentially fall over. Hey W looks amazing. But just stay motivated. It's not easy, but if you could pick one or two things, like you could be overweight, uneducated, struggling, or you could be the later, and they're both going to be challenging, but it's better to be on the good side of things, the healthy side of things, rather than be a negative influence on this world. IAA looks truly great. That is a ripe flag. That's going on the list. IAA. And what else do we got? A few more. We're almost through this. This is great. My thing is loading a bit slow. Lift looks good, but I don't like how downtrendish that is. But if you like it, you could definitely keep your eyes on that thing. MNRL, I like that. It needs some more time, I think, but through that pivot high, looks pretty good. OLN, that looks good. I don't love it, but it's a clean type base. I just have too many of that specific setup. PAR, let me check that out. PAR Technology, a huge flag. I'm drawing a little trend line. Yeah, this thing deserves to be on the list. PAR. So I have a pretty big list right now, but by pretty big I mean 45, 40 names around there, and I'm going to filter it down, but I at least wanted to show how you could find these names for yourself. RVLV. And FinViz is a great tool. You don't need a paid screener to find plenty of setups. You do not. I'll put that on the list, RVLV. So I'm looking for triangles, bases, flags. The cleanness of the bases, the longer it's been basing, the bigger the move will be when it breaks out. SI was a huge one. I didn't like it lacked cleanliness around that breakout area. You see it went up, rejected. It was making like higher highs, and then it wasn't clean enough for me. But hey, sometimes you miss them. Check out that move up to 163. What a runner. So we're about done. We got a few more pages. SUN, what is that? Seems like one of those, it's a oil and gas refiner, Sunoco. I'm looking at other names, but if you notice that it did have a clean breakout this week through that 38, spot 8, broke out of that base. So the oil and the gas names, I think they're headed higher just from the chart, and there's some fundamental cases for it as well. It's just supply and demand, and they act like the green energy revolution can occur instantly. It can't, but they're cutting off the supply of new oil. So what's going to happen? Demand is still there, and supply is getting less and less. Price is going up. VCO, I like it, but I just, sometimes I can't even give a reason. I just don't want it on my list. I got a lot going on already, and it's not worth it. So if you enjoyed that, hopefully you did. I'm about done, and 20 minutes, not bad. I just hope you can learn something. I know there's not too many risk managers, aspiring, independent, self-employed people who really want to be able to manage money rather than pay the fees for the financial advisor. But if you're one of those people like me, you enjoy this stuff, you enjoy doing your own research and being the best you can be, all I ask is, if you learn, please share with someone who might learn as well. truly, that's what would put a smile on my face, and I appreciate any support. Anyone who is learning, I'm so happy to be helping other people. Thank you so much. Enjoy your weekend. Get fresh air. Treat people kindly. Be patient, and just try your best to enjoy the moment, because that's what really matters. Life will fly by. If you don't enjoy the moment, it's gonna fly by. So thank you so much. Enjoy the weekend.